parenting educator and coach and psychotherapist. So this is the final video of our little 3 days of communication. Now, this one is really about how we all communicate as a family. So thinking about systemically how all of us end up impacting the children. So I know this stuff inside out, yet I will still obviously make the wrong decisions in moments of rage. So I'm thinking recently when I mentioned we were going away on our little family break, it was an emotionally charged trip for me because it was my nan's final request to go away as a family, and we're packing up the car and we were running late. I become defensive and blaming of my husband's lack of contribution to getting us all in the car in time. He wasn't moving fast enough. He wasn't keeping up with my demands. So we started to argue. I could see what I was doing. I knew it was wrong, but it was just falling out. You did, you should. So all the blame, all the raised voices, horrible. Now, obviously, at some point, we came back together, we had a hug, you okay, I'm fine, we made up, all done. I came back into the room downstairs and my little girl wasn't okay. She'd heard us fighting and she had made herself very small in the armchair and she was colouring in tiny little segments of her little drawing, a colouring in book. So she was feeling quite unsafe and not freely using the space around her, which she usually would. So I went up to her, and this was my chance to repair with her, because we're always going to get it wrong, but we have to then repair. And I find it so hard to say I've done anything wrong. That's my trigger. I hate being wrong. I hate having to take responsibility for those things, and I have to dig deep. So in that moment, listen, I'm so sorry. I had to then revisit the argument by bringing up that's what I'd just done. But I said to her, I'm really sorry you heard mummy and daddy arguing. It wasn't about you. We love you very much. That was about adult stuff. I'm feeling quite emotional about nanny and going away to the house, and it made me feel really shouty, and I'm sorry, but mummy and daddy have worked it out and we're in a good place. Something to that effect. She's still shrugging me off. Can mummy do some colouring with you? No. Would you like to play that little Peppa Pig game? No. So daddy was still doing his own thing in the room, like packing up stuff. So I invited daddy to play the game with me, because in this moment, what she needed to see was that we had united, that we were okay, that we were safe. And in that, on the floor, he came down and we started playing the game. In that, she's looked over, she's become interested. And this is literally like 5 or 6 minute game, wasn't going to take long at all. And she came over and she joined us. And we ensured it was very playful. We were in agreement, we were a team. She won, and we did this twice, 2 or 3 times, and then she was in a much better place. And then afterwards she said to me, and she shared, I didn't like hearing you shout, mummy. She needed to feel connection, she needed to feel safe before she could share with me. She felt unsafe around me because I lost my temper. And they'll often do that at school. All of a sudden you feel that there's something you just feel disjointed, you feel a bit distant from your children somehow. Even in a tantrum, you just feel a bit distant, and there's all this acting out. It's only when they get close to you and you cuddle them, and sometimes their behaviour's been so horrible, the last thing you want to do is hug them or touch them, because they've just been, their behaviour appears so vile, kicking and screaming, and you think, oh, it repulses you. You've got to get in there, hug them, meet them through that pain, and then that connection allows them to soften, and then you'll hear, I had a tough day at school, or this happened, or I didn't like this, or I heard you say that, and then you get to the root of what was actually going on. So we get it wrong, but there's always this opportunity for repair, and children are so resilient. It's one of the reasons I love working with children, especially teenagers, because we can teach something to an adult cognitively and it will take them weeks. You give it to a child and it just bounces. They just run with it, and they're so adaptive and resilient, and they pick stuff up so quickly. So you have this opportunity to really nurture them in this sense. So yeah, we get it wrong, we all do. And some people are naturally much calmer, but that's not how I was raised, so it will be a trigger for me in really stressful moments, and I have to work really hard at it. So if that resonates, please share, and remember that repair and seeing mummy and dad as a team is actually vital. Even if you've got more babies coming, or you've got friends having babies, from the early years, what can happen very quickly, when you're playing with a baby, maybe you're shaking a little toy or something, a rattle at them, and dad comes in, almost does something else, unconsciously it becomes almost competitive between you. And we see that a lot. You see examples of this competition where you're almost fighting for the attention of the child. Baby really picks up on that, even from a really young age. So when you're together and you are with the baby playing, you two are a team and you play together with the baby. Separately, of course, dad's going to be more rough, mum's going to be more nurturing and safe, but when you come together, unite, so it's not a competition for attention. Oh, look, he's looking at me. It's we are united and we meet your needs together. It makes them feel very safe and secure. Okay, that's it. I'll let you go. Thank you for joining me on our little 3 days. Don't forget, I'm going to be making I think it's going to be 5 days to nurture the calm within you. It resonates with me, needing that calm. So to communicate in this way, we need to be really present. So I'm going to teach you 5 ways on how to be present, how to be more patient, and so you don't feel so triggered. So keep an eye out for them.